In 2025, America's missile factories are roaring to life. For the first time since the Cold War, the United States is producing advanced weapons on a massive scale, not for display, but for deterrence, readiness, and survival. This is not just rearmament. It's a transformation, a defense shift redefining global power and rewriting the rules of modern warfare. Montage of F-35s, submarines, and industrial robotics loading missile canisters. During World War II, President Roosevelt called America the arsenal of democracy. 80 years later, that arsenal is being rebuilt, this time fueled by artificial intelligence, automation, and a global network of defense suppliers. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, the titans of U.S. defense, are no longer simply innovators. They are war manufacturers preparing for a world on edge. Ukraine battlefield clips, missile launches, destroyed armor, satellite overlays. The war in Ukraine taught the Pentagon a sobering lesson. High-tech warfare consumes munitions faster than anyone imagined. Precision missiles, air defense interceptors, and artillery shells, all depleted within months. In a large-scale war, quantity becomes as vital as quality, and the U.S. military, long focused on small elite forces, realized that mass production was once again a weapon of strategy, time-lapse of missile parts moving through automated assembly lines. To meet new global demands, the Pentagon launched what it calls the Defense Industrial Surge. New plants in Texas, Alabama, and Arizona are producing long-range precision fires, Stingers, Javelins, and next-generation cruise missiles. Output has tripled in some factories, and yet, it's still not enough. Defense officials admit America must be ready to fight and resupply allies simultaneously. Hypersonic glide body animations, wind tunnel tests, experimental launches. Among the most urgent priorities, hypersonic weapons, capable of traveling at over Mach 5. These missiles can strike targets before enemies even react. For decades, the U.S. lagged behind Russia and China in this field. But in 2025, that balance is changing. The Pentagon's ARRW and Dark Eagle programs mark America's entry into the hypersonic era, combining speed, stealth, and precision in ways never seen before. Visual, robotic arms, digital schematics, engineers monitoring smart screens. In the 21st century, weapons are not just built by hands, they're built by algorithms. AI-driven manufacturing now designs, tests, and calibrates missiles faster than human engineers ever could. Every component, from propulsion systems to targeting chips, is optimized in virtual simulations before it even exists in reality. This integration of AI and automation is turning U.S. defense production into an unstoppable industrial ecosystem. Cargo ships, semiconductor plants, titanium, and rare earth mining sites. But power on the battlefield begins far from it, in the factories and supply chains that feed it. Semiconductors from Taiwan, titanium from Ukraine, rare earth minerals from Africa. These are the hidden arteries of missile production. To secure them, the U.S. is reshaping its global alliances, building new trade corridors, and reducing dependency on rival nations. Because in modern warfare, logistics are the first line of defense. U.S. Navy ships in the Pacific, Taiwan Strait, Chinese war drills. Much of this surge is driven by one reality. The Indo-Pacific got China's growing missile arsenal, from DF-26s to YJ-21s, has challenged America's traditional dominance at sea. To counter it, the U.S. is deploying long-range fires across Guam, Japan, and the Philippines. Every missile built today is part of a silent race to ensure deterrence tomorrow. Visual, NATO summits, defense ministers, missile shields being tested. Across the Atlantic, NATO nations are rearming too. Poland, Finland, and the Baltic states are rapidly expanding their missile defense networks. The U.S. plays the central role, supplying interceptors, sharing technology, and anchoring Europe's shield. In 2025, Washington isn't just arming allies. It's ensuring that any future war remains too costly to start. U.S. Congress sessions, Pentagon budget visuals, digital infographics. The numbers are staggering. The U.S. defense budget in 2025 exceeds $890 billion, the largest in history. Nearly a quarter of that is dedicated to munitions, Missile research and industrial expansion. Critics call it excessive. Strategists call it essential. In an age of emerging threats, deterrence is no longer measured by how strong you are, but how fast you can rebuild strength. Veterans, young engineers, families near military bases, behind every missile, there's a workforce. Thousands of Americans reviving the art of production. Skilled welders, software coders, machinists, and designers. For decades, the U.S. outsourced its manufacturing power. Now defense production is bringing it back home. This isn't just about weapons. It's about restoring industrial might, satellite imagery, missile launch tests, geopolitical tension maps. Every surge in weaponry echoes a deeper fear, the next great conflict. Washington insists that production is a deterrent, not a provocation, but history teaches us. Arms races often begin as safeguards and end as triggers. The 2025 missile boom may ensure peace or prepare the world for its most dangerous decade. UN meetings, Chinese and Russian analysts reacting. U.S. defense briefings. Russia warns of escalation. China accelerates its own buildup. And yet, allies like Japan, Australia, and Poland welcome America's renewed commitment. The world is once again polarized, not by ideology, but by industrial capability. In this new era, deterrence isn't spoken in diplomacy. It's measured in missile output, futuristic assembly lines, AI-controlled warehouses, digital blueprints. The Pentagon's vision of the future is clear: a resilient, self-sustaining, and rapid industrial base. Factories that can shift from peace to wartime production within days. Systems that learn, adapt, and rebuild without pause. The U.S. is preparing, while not for a single war, but for the century of competition ahead. American flag, missile silo doors closing, sunrise over a factory. The world has entered a new age, one defined not by who has the biggest weapon, but who can build it faster, smarter, and more often. This is the 2025 defense shift, the rebirth of America's arsenal of democracy.